Great hustle by Kim. That's what I saw. So I mean, usually when a guy cuts to the inside and it's essentially a 1v1 against keeper, sometimes defenders tend, or players tend to shut down and hope for the best. But he kept going and made my save count and made sure the ball stayed out. But referee said right away that Kim came from behind, but I knew that Kim came from the left. I mean, he was in that whole struggle on the left side there, so there's no way he came from behind on a tackle. But glad that they had a look at it and overturned it. But great hustle by Kim, like I said. Really appreciate that.
Can you talk about the challenge of when you don't have a lot of action and all of a sudden you're called upon at the last moment, a crucial moment, and you come up with it?
Yeah, I think it's important that you stay engaged in the game, even when you're not feeling the ball as much. You know, you can still move with the flow of your team and communicate and things like that. So it's important that you do that in the minutes where you're not seeing the ball. That when you're called upon, that you're still ready to go, and it's not a rude awakening, if you will.
What did you see on the shot that led up to the PK call that allowed you to sort of read and get a finger on it?
Yeah, well, somehow he was able to cut inside, and obviously then it opens up the whole goal. Try to see if if he was gonna get away from him, if I could just close him down all the way, but stayed pretty close to him, so I was able to close the angle a little bit, and then stay balanced and try to react. And we've been working on making those decisions, when to go fully, when to stay back, when to hold your position, things like that, and kind of worked out in that moment, especially, like I said, with Kim staying with the play and hustling, because otherwise nobody's going to talk about that save if he shuts down. So appreciate it.
At this point of the season, is this where the communication you feel like is at with the back line, and how you guys have the shutout, and it's been building every game, and now at this point?
Yeah, I mean that's the positive to take from this game. That being said, I think there's quite a few things that we want to look at and do better at. I think we came out with decent possession and good intent. Tested them a little bit, and we're not fortunate to find things, and that's when we need to stay patient. We need to stay patient and maybe find a plan B. And we kind of kept lobbing balls in, and they were very, very deep and absorbing that pressure. So just got to look at that. But the good thing is that's in our hands, right? It's not having to adjust to an opponent that's doing exceptionally well. It's us looking at okay, if that doesn't work, how do we go about breaking them down in another way? But at the end, it got wide open. Maybe that's one thing we have to also look at and want to rectify a little bit. Obviously, we try to go for the 3 points, but against a rival away from home, to come away with a clean sheet and a point is always good.
With the offense flying before you came in here, can you see a blueprint for other teams putting 8-9 behind the ball to stifle that offense?
Say that again. Sorry, I was.
As the Whitecaps had 8-9 behind the ball to stifle.
Again, there needed to be a plan B, right? I think maybe if we could have gotten some earlier crosses in that were on the ground. They have some really big guys in the back, but how are they going to deal with balls on the ground when they're facing their own goal? I would have loved seeing that more. And then the chances we do get are long-range shots. And Gustav got a really good cannon there, and their keeper makes a good save. But I think teams will look at that and say if you play against them and they're playing deep, you have to come up with some other options and some other avenues to threaten and find a back of the net.